Hello, my friends. I have finally finished this huge mixed media project I've been doing. I wanted to do a junk journal-ish mixed media rock, and this was my first go at it, and it took me a long time, a lot of planning, a lot of strategy, but I finally have finished, and I am editing now and hopefully going to get this video out so you can see it. I filmed every little bit of it. Now, I did speed it up because there's no way that you would want to sit for hours and watch me do this. So I just sketched real quick on a piece of parchment paper my rock. And then I'm putting shimmer shots. Every kind of purple shimmer shots went down here, and then I'm gonna use a turquoise one, and I just got into all my shimmer shots. They're from the Foiling Rock Lady. She's on Etsy. I absolutely love the shimmer shots. So I just kept putting dots of color down on the parchment paper, and as you can see the line drawn around, that's my guide, so I know not to go past that line. Or I don't need to. It would be a waste of paint. Now here I go with the turquoise. So I'm starting out with a Santorini stone, and the Santorini stone is from East Coast Santorini Cells, and Heather Martin is the awesome lady that owns the shop, and she got me some nice big Santorini stones, and I love it. So all I did was turn the rock over, smash it, twist it, turn it. Now I'm using a little of the leftover paint to fill in the sides. That's it. That's my background. Is that awesome or what? I love too the texture that it gave it. So I didn't even worry about like wanting it smooth or anything, because y'all, this is a mixed media rock, so you're going to want textures and different things going on the rock. So I forgot to turn the camera on for this small part, but I wanted to paint a candle, and that was one of my biggest goals for this rock, is I wanted to paint a candle. I've never painted a candle, so that's what I did. So I sketched it out first with a charcoal pencil, and then I started in with some white paint. And basically, I'm putting in the base coat. I like to block it all in, and then I'm going to start adding colors after that. So I also decided after I did the candle that I wanted like a little potion bottle. So then I drew in a little potion bottle, and I just freehanded it. So I wanted to have some painting on this rock. I didn't want to have all mixed media. And now I'm taking some black, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm just dotting some black out around the candle and the potion bottle, just so that everything will show up like I want it to. But I'm blending it out so that it's just kind of going to be like a little bit of a background for the fire, for the flame. Now, I did speed this up quite a bit on this part. So I will try to get in all the information I possibly can. So this is more, I'm not sure if I think this is acrylic that I used. Gosh, I shouldn't have waited so long to do this voiceover. But I'm pretty sure this is acrylic that I used to do the candle. And I just have different yellows out. And then also I have orange. And you're going to see me do a lot of mixing. I also have burnt sienna, which is what's on the bottom. So I'm going to keep going back and forth with orange and then the burnt sienna And then I got a little bit of black to darken that burnt sienna. And I have some white and orange mixed together. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I get the colors that I want. This was a super, super fun rock. I had so much fun planning it and seeing it come together, and I'm so happy to share it now with y'all. It actually came out better than I expected. I'm also starting a actual junk journal, and I've only done the first page, and I did film it, but also, I don't know, but I think I had more fun doing the rock just because it's a challenge, you know? It's like you have to figure out what's going to work and what won't work because it has to be on a rock and it has to be sealed. So that's was the fun part. But I did film my first page of my junk journal also, so that video will be coming out soon. And I'm a totally new beginner at this junk journal thing, but as soon as I heard about junk journals and I took a deep dive, I was like, I want to do one on a rock. And I loved it so much, I want to do another one, but I just haven't figured out what I want to do yet. So as soon as I come up with a plan, with an idea, I will definitely get to it. This one all started with a sticker. And I will tell you that when we get to that point, I'll tell you which sticker it was. But it just kind of, the idea formed from there, and then I started kind of planning the rock, and I decided I wanted a window, and I decided I wanted a candle, and I had all these ideas, and I was like, I want this to all be on the rock. And then I had open spaces and places I needed to figure out where to put things. And eventually it just all came together, and it was so much fun, y'all. Y'all have got to try a cool mixed media rock like this. So I'm going to keep shading in. You want it to appear that your candle is glowing, you know, like when it burns, and your candle has different colors depending on where the flame is. So now I'm working on the wax that's dripping. That was a very interesting thing. I had never done it before, and so I had to do a lot of research on how do you make the wax look like it's dripping and make it look real. And so you're going to see, once I get in the drips of wax, I'm going to go in and darken around the drips. And you'll just kind of see it starting to pop out. And I'm working with a super fine fine liner brush. Wanda carries that in her Etsy shop. I love those little fine liner brushes, and I use the heck out of them. So now I'm darkening the inside part of the candle. And I'm going to keep working and blend out. But you can kind of see it starting to come to life. Now this is where I'm darkening all around the edges. And I have brown and black, a mixture going on between them. And I went ahead and did a lot of my blending on my parchment paper so that you could see kind of what I'm doing. But it's just a super lot amount of blending. Lining and blending. And I use tiny brushes, y'all. I don't know. I just really enjoy working on it, like doing really fine details. So now I put in the little stem, and I'm going to start the flame. So I know I kind of skipped over a little part there, finishing up the candle, but the video was getting so long that I had to speed up some areas and cut some areas out, just so y'all didn't get bored sitting and watching me. But with the flame, I kind of just worked with the same colors. I used burnt sienna, I used different shades of yellow, white. If I needed it darker, I added a little black into the burnt sienna, or I would use burnt umber. So I kind of just went back and forth between all those. And if you notice, I'm using a little poppet for my paint. Those are the best things to put your paint in, because when you're done painting, you just let it dry and then pop out the old paint, and you're good to go. They clean really easy, and I absolutely love using one. I now have a bigger one than that little one, but I had like saved up like 2 or 3 of them, and I would just trade them out. But now I have a nice big one that has nice big poppets in it, so it's lasting me a lot longer. I don't have to clean it as often, because I'm only using like 1 or 2 or 3 of the holes, and then you pop the color out and it's fine. You don't necessarily have to clean it anymore. So I'm doing the darker part in the middle, and the outside part is going to be, I'm blocking in the white, and then I'm going to go over it with color. But you just kind of start with that middle part being your darker part, and then I added some dark at the bottom, and now I'm going in with some red, and then back with some orange, and you just kind of keep going back and forth until your flame is looking like you want it to. So I'm adding a bit dark back in there, and the little part to the little stem. I can't remember what that thing is called. The wick. Yes, the little top part to the wick. Not a stem. Oh, goodness. It's been a crazy day. So now I'm going to work on the cork to the potion bottle. I had no idea what I was doing here, y'all. I knew what color a cork kind of was and what it looked like, and I just kind of winged it. Now, you're going to see me using all kinds of things on this rock. I threw shimmer shots at it in acrylic. That was a gel pen a while ago. There's a liner pen. You name it, I'm going to use it on this rock. And that's the meaning of a mixed media rock. So, but it is so much fun. So now I wanted to put like a little string hanging from the top part of the potion bottle. And once you put the white in, you kind of outline the line in the black. And so it makes it kind of pop out. So now I'm putting some purple shimmer shots, and I can't remember which one I used, to be honest with you. I used 2 different colors of purple shimmer shots, and I put it as the liquid in the bottom, which I had pre-painted white, and then I'm going to go in and shade so that there's 2 different colors. So it kind of looks like it's sloshing. Now I'm adding a white shine to the bottle. So this is a paper that's a set of paper windows that I ordered from Amazon. And I just outlined it so I would know exactly where I needed to paint black. And I decided to paint it all black and then let it dry. And I wanted to do like a galaxy kind of look out the window. I thought that would be cool. So this is Wanda's Extreme Shifties. It is chameleon paint that is absolutely gorgeous, out of this world. And I just took several of the shifties and just changed from different colors. They shift several colors. So depending on which way you're looking at the rock, it depends on what colors you're going to see. But I just tapped in the colors and I mixed it up and just tried to make it look like a galaxy. And I had so much fun doing it. And it just gives a really nice, cool interest behind the window. And really, y'all, I was just dotting in the paint and just kind of having fun with it. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Lots of tapping. And then I covered up a little area and I took a toothbrush and some thin white paint and I'm just adding in what looks like stars. I didn't do a lot, just a few. And then I used my little daughter to put in a few larger dots. And maybe a couple of stars. And then I'm going to let that dry. And then I added matte medium. And I'm going to put my window on. Add a little more to the top. And then you're going to let that dry. So each element that I did, I had to let dry and then go move on to the next element. So that's why this rock took so long. Because there were days when I didn't get back to it. So, and I had to spray in between several times. So you have to go through that. So here's the sticker. I came across this sticker that with a black cat. And that's what became my focus. So everything else went around this black cat. And I was kind of going for a mystical look. So Wanda a while back had these stickers in her shop and they had these books and it was like a crystals pack of paints. I mean of stickers, I'm sorry. And it just went perfect with the cat. So I put the cat on and then the books. And then I took some, they're not really paper flowers. They were more like cloth flowers. And I started putting them in. In hindsight, I should have used a different flower. I should have used like a paper flower or something and not cloth. Because in the end, when I resined, the flowers are kind of not as pretty as when I first put them on. But it still looks cool, and I learned a lesson, that I probably need to use paper flowers and not cloth flowers. But the fun thing about junk journals is you use what you have, and I'm slowly building up stuff, so I don't have a ton of stuff right now. And honestly, I don't have room for a ton of stuff. So, I'm just doing the best I can with what I got. And I happen to have these cloth flowers. So I'm just using matte medium for all this. And I'm just putting it on there. And then I might be using a thicker. I think I'm using a thicker medium to put these flowers on. So that it would hold it down. It's a matte gel. But it's all Liquitex. And then, of course, I let those dry. So you see how it kind of made dots and stuff. I had sprayed my rock, but it still kind of bled through a little bit on the flowers. But that's okay. It adds some personality to it, right? So now I'm using E6000. And I had this little potion bottle that had little pieces of shards of some kind in it. And I decided to take that apart and use the shards on my rock because I thought it looked really cool. So I added a moon gem onto my potion bottle. And then I just started putting in these shards. It's like metal flake or something in. And then I added, that's a plastic clock, and it came in a set of steampunk stuff. So I added the clock, and then these are like some really thin little metal butterflies that I have a whole set of. So I decided to go ahead and put a couple of metal butterflies in. I have changed my glue since using this E6000. I really fought with the E6000 through this whole rock because it gets really stringy, and I don't know. I just did not love it too much. So I've changed my glue since then. But it did the trick. It got me through my first rock, my first junk journaling. So then I decided to add a heart gem to the cat. And I think this is just a AB crystal heart. So now on the left side, I'm adding in glue, and I'm going to start adding those little metal shards onto the left side. And I used, to rub the glue around, I used one of those eyeliner brushes. They're just disposable. You can get them on Amazon. A big bag for cheap. So the cool thing about this little key that I'm fixing to put on, it's a little charm, and I actually took it and painted it with the shifties to give it a little color, and I sanded it first a little bit with my little sanding block, and then I put the shifties on it, and it just gave it so much personality. I absolutely loved it. I don't know what made me think of it. I just, in the spur of the moment, was like, I want a little color on there. So then I glued it on with the E6000. And I'm sorry, I'm off camera. I'm going to do that a few times. So I added more on the bottom part of the books. And I just smash all of it on there, and then pick the rock up and let all the loose ones fall. And I just kept adding more and more and filling in the little parts where the glue was until I liked it. And then I'm going to start going in and adding some little pearls. You can see my little container of pearls in the back. But I'm going to be adding some pearls and some rhinestones and just different things to the little shards that I put down. This is me sitting here thinking, where do I want to put this? I had some little rose quartz crystals, and I wanted to incorporate those because rose quartz is supposed to be like kind of clearing of the air and ridding negative vibes or whatever. I don't know if it works. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I decided I wanted it to have some rose quartz put on this rock, just in case whoever ends up with this rock might have some good positive vibes from it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this rock yet, but I might keep it for a while just to, enjoy it. And after I've enjoyed it for a little while, I think I'll pass it on. So I'm still kind of adding in some different rhinestones and different beads. And none of this was really planned. I kind of just flew by the seat of my pants on some of this stuff. I knew what I wanted originally, and then the shards didn't even happen till I happened to find the bottle in some of my junk stuff, and I was like, that would look really cool on the bottom of my rock. So it had a little cork in it, and I had to pry the cork out, and it ended up tearing and everything. But eventually I got the metal shards out, and it looked awesome. So I'm glad that I tore that thing apart. But you work with what you have, right? And I really didn't know where to stop on this. I just kept adding and adding until I was like, okay, I think this looks good. This was a good first fun project, though. I learned a lot of things. I discovered I needed a different glue. I needed different flowers. But it still came out pretty cool. And I had a lot of fun doing it. There was a lot of firsts on this rock. So, a first candle, a first gluing the little metal shards on, gluing charms on, and just a lot of firsts for me. Has some decoupage. So I'm getting close to the end of the rock now. I decided after I got everything done with the bottom, I just wanted to put a little bit of glitter whip on. So I'm using Butterfly Fields, and it just really paired well with this rock and the colors and everything. And you can get that from the Foiling Rock Lady on Etsy. And I just apply it with my finger. And I thank y'all so much for watching and spending this 30 minutes with me. I hope y'all enjoyed watching my process. I hope y'all try it and let me know what y'all think. And thanks again. Thanks so much for watching. And y'all have a great day and happy arting.